So am I alive? I think I'm alive. Hopefully I'm alive. Hi everybody, it's Mike Meyers and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Mike Meyers Ask Mike Anything live stream. The goal of this live stream is to provide those of us who are isolated by the coronavirus an opportunity to continue our studies for CompTIA certification. Now, here we concentrate on the CompTIA A+, Net Plus, and Security Plus, but we're certainly capable and comfortable talking about all kinds of CompTIA certifications as well as non-CompTIA certifications as well. So, feel free to ask. Whoops. I didn't put on my mic. Yeah, this is a highly professional setup here, folks. Nothing but the best for you guys out there. How's that? Does that sound a little better? Well, we'll see what happens. Nobody's saying anything to me, so I guess we're okay. All right. Welcome aboard. Yes, it's going to be St. Patrick's Day here in a couple of days. So I know we got folks from all over the world here, but here in the United States, St. Patrick's Day is an opportunity to put blue food coloring into perfectly good beer, to turn it green, and to drink too much. So, there we go. He went from Myers to Mike Myers. I don't know what that means, but okay. So anyway, let me take off my St. Patrick's Day hat. So Americans are silly when it comes to holidays, like here in the U.S., especially down here in Texas, we'll celebrate Cinco de Mayo, whereas almost nobody in Mexico celebrates Cinco de Mayo. There's so many things we celebrate in the United States. We're just looking for an excuse to party. Come on. It's nothing more complicated than that. And we like to drink alcohol. So, the microphone. Sorry. Okay, I got the microphone fixed. All right. Thank you, Cosmic ATT. All right. It's Michael O'Myers. Hey, you want to hear a funny joke? What's green and sits outside all year round? Patio furniture. There we go. Okay, that's it. That's like literally the only Irish joke I've got. Garde Burgess. Garde, are you Irish by any chance? With a name like Garde, I'm just assuming you are. Okay. So anyway, guys, a couple of things. I see a lot of new faces in here today, which we're always glad to see. Nope, this is pure tea, nothing but black tea in my coffee today, kids. Although this evening we're going to have a little small Ersatz wine tasting, and I have an outstanding bottle of Napa Cabernet that I'm going to share with some friends. Garde is Burgess. He's Irish and Scottish. So I always get a big kick when I'm over in the UK. I've never been to Ireland or Scotland. Sorry. So I'm usually down around somewhere in London, not in the night. It's not Kensington. It's more like Slough. And I get the biggest kick out of the Scots and the Irish. This is my American interpretation. I can be wrong, but it's how I see it. Scots and Irish people don't like each other until you put them around a lot of Brits. And then suddenly they glom onto each other. It's like a scene from Braveheart. It's hilarious. In fact, I call them the Celts. Whenever I'm in London, all these Irish and or Scottish folks will start glomming together, and they basically drink a lot. Like, I've always considered myself to be a pretty good drinker, and then I go to hang out with a bunch of Scotsmen and Irishmen, and it's absolutely terrifying, their ability to consume alcohol. Then they start telling you how America is I can't say the word, and then they all want to fight me. It's like, dude, even back then I was late 40s, 50s. I was like, I'm not going to get in a fist fight over Bill Clinton's economic policies or something like that. And these Scotsmen, man, you get enough drinks and you can't even do it. The fear that I might offend somebody. Mr. G, Mike, have you ever tried Romanian wine? Oh, I don't know. There's a joke in there somewhere. Mr. G, I probably have had Romanian wine. and it's probably pretty good. I think I have had it, but I'm not sure. Actually, I've had Hungarian wine, which was absolutely delicious. Hungarian, had another really weird wine. I think it was Austrian. It was a type of grape called Gruner Fettlinger, which is pretty rare here in the United States. You don't see much of it. Anyway, it's good stuff. Omar, I used to live in Wichita Falls. You lived in Wichita Falls, Omar? I'm sorry, man. Wichita Falls, we call that southern Oklahoma. Mark Larissima. Hello, Mike. Just moved to Norfolk, Virginia from Houston, Texas. Mark, are you in the Navy by any chance? Because Norfolk's actually a good little town. I've been there many times. It's a nice town. Landman at 205. I have my CompTIA test next week, and I still can't comprehend IAAS, PAAS, and SAAS. Landman, you're about to comprehend it. Are you ready? Let's do this one right now. Folks, I know I've jumped over some stuff. I'll go back to the top of the chat window here in a sec. Oh, by the way, if you're new, you're going to ask me questions. You just type them in the chat window and I answer them. I've got Dave Rush here. I've got Tolowit. I've got, is Andrew Hutz on? So we got lots of other people helping me out here. But anyway, let's go to live. Make sure you're on live chat. Okay. Johnny 5. Johnny 5 is alive. Oh, wow. I finally caught one of these streams. Greetings from Thailand. Oh, good to see you. Where'd the question go? IAS? Okay, I don't remember where the question is, but I can answer this really easy. You go, so when we're talking about cloud services, we talk about infrastructure as a service, we talk about platform as a service, and then we talk about and then we talk about software as a service. So each one of these builds on the other. IaaS is the most classic form of cloud provider. In that case, what you're doing, look guys, to access the cloud, you're going to get to a web page. I don't care what kind of cloud you're going to go to, you're going to go to some web page. So let's say you want to spin up a new web server and you're going to use Amazon Web Services. So you're going to go over to amazon.com/AWS or whatever it is, and you log in, create an account, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to make a server, okay? So when you're making a server on AWS, and by the way, they call it an instance, what you do is you say stuff like, okay, I'm going to set up a server. What kind of CPU power do you want? How many CPUs do you want? How much RAM do you want? And folks, they're not back in the room sitting there, oh, he just ordered 32 gig, snap. No, these are virtualized machines, okay? So you say CPU, RAM, storage, how does your storage manifest? Things like that. And then what kind of operating? You want to install Linux? You want to install Windows Server? What do you want to install? You have to tell them. You bleep, 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 bonk, and you create your instance. That's infrastructure as a service. You will always know infrastructure as a service because you have to type in details of the virtual machine you want. Do you understand? Cool. All right. So for a lot of people, in fact, for the most part, programmers, the people who actually write the code to make our websites, they don't know that much about hardware. Programmers like to claim that they do, but they don't know hardly anything. They're like, oh, yeah, you make it all transparent. Anyway, for a lot of people, to actually set up the infrastructure is a waste of time and confusing. So what we do instead is we have another level, and Heroku is probably the most famous of these, platform as a service. When you're doing platform as a service, all of the hardware is kind of invisible. Oh yeah, you can still build up an instance, but they don't even call it that. Heroku has another name for it. And what you need to do is you just upload your code. You just upload it, however you want to upload it. It's a lot of different ways that Heroku supports it. So they upload it. They don't ask you how many CPUs. They don't even ask you, do you want to install an instance? They just assume you do because you're there. There's a 1972 Dodge Charger with a full-blown supercharged header sitting outside my window right now. It is black and it is a beautiful piece of American muscle car. That was so cool. All right, back to, so platform as a service, you pretty much just say, yes, I want a thing. I want to set up a web page. And they'll do stuff like they'll give you a basic DNS name. They'll configure everything for you. You don't even see how many CPUs or how much RAM or anything. If your virtual machine is running too slow, they give you a knob and you just turn the knob. I think it actually goes to 11. So what you're doing is you're still setting up a platform to install your software on. However, with Heroku, all of the actual hardware details are invisible to you. That's platform as a service. Programmers are going to use platform as a service. Nerds like us, tech nerds, we're probably going to use infrastructure as a service. The next step from platform as a service is called software as a service. With infrastructure as a service, you have to spin up your own machine, you have to install your own operating system, you have to install your own web server, whatever you want, then you install your application. With platform as a service, all you pretty much have to install is your code, and it pretty much takes care of everything else. Software as a service, you don't do anything because it's finished. I would argue to you, friends, that the default Google web page is software as a service. What service does Google provide? It provides a searching service. But a lot of people don't think in terms like that. A lot of times they'll think about stuff like Google Docs. How's that for an example? Where you can actually open up a page and you're able to create word processing files, kind of a thing. So, software as a service means it's already done and it's ready to go. So that's infrastructure as a service versus platform as a service versus software as a service. There you go. Brian Baggs even said SAS, Google Docs, Microsoft 365. There we go. Okay, let's get back to the top. And yes, folks, we are going to be giving away free practice questions today, and we're going to be giving away a free CompTIA voucher. All right, now, folks, do keep in mind that we have we only 1 hour here, so we're already 15 minutes into our hour. So we run till 3 o'clock or until the questions run out. So do keep that in mind. If we have a slower day, then I'm just going to end it a little bit early. Just so if you have questions, be sure to ask them right away. Okay. Will Shaw at 156. Hello, all. Interesting things. Someone asked Messer how to balance drinking and studying for CompTIA. Professor Messer is a great person, and I think he's a fine instructor, but I never got the impression that he was a guy who had a lot of sense of humor. I'd be very curious to see how he handled that. Jenish Patel, Omer already there. We said hello, hello, hello. Mohammed's here again. Siegfried, ooh, Irish Mikey from Wilshaw. So when you see me doing this, I'm just looking for questions. Kim Jong-Oof, no alcohol, man. I'm being good. Guys, I'm down 31 pounds, so I'm going to be, I'm actually going to enjoy a little wine tonight. We're going to have like 1 glass. Jeremy Story, Roll Tide. You got some money for Alabama. Hey, Jeremy, my daughter went to LSU, so that's all I can do. 206, Dr. Weird. Just had an interview for an entry-level technician job at an MSP on Monday. Would it be coming off too strong to email the interviewer, thanking them for the opportunity? Probably. That's a tricky one. If somebody did that to me as an interviewer, I would find it professional and okay, but the problem is so many etiquettes that I've grown up on seem to be fading. So, you know, go for it. Go for it. I think it would be a nice little courtesy. 207, Shlomo Strauss. Hello, Mike. I just passed the 1,001. All right. Well done, Shlomo. Now, Shlomo's a name I haven't heard for a long time. I used to live in New York City, and I had a lot of friends named Shlomo in Williamsburg. Welcome. Cosmic AT&T again. If I bought a CompTIA A+ voucher today, how long would I have to take the exam until the current format retires? So Cosmic AT&T, you're asking lots of different questions here. Number one, if I bought a CompTIA A+ voucher today, how long will it last? They generally last for 1 year. if the A plus change, the A plus kicks in April, the new A plus, your voucher is still good. Your 1,000, your A plus that you bought for the previous exam still works for the new exam. You might want to double check those things, but that's what I've heard from CompTIA. Then the other question is how long do I have to take the test until the current format retires? Dave, I forgot. What is the, oh, here we go. August 31st. So you'd have till August 31st. No, I didn't miss it. Okay. Brennan. Hey, everyone. Hey, Brennan. Welcome aboard, man. Yeah, Shlomo, get that 1002 knocked out. Oop, lots of questions came in. I'm lazy today, guys. I'm just lazy. That's all it is. There's Andre. Voting, good man. Shlomo Strauss, then I need to decide if I go with Network Plus or CCNA. Shlomo, people ask me that question a lot, and it's a good question. Personally, I think Network Plus is the way to go. The reason because Network Plus would go towards your CCNA, all right? The knowledge you would gain is going to make CCNA a lot easier. I love Cisco equipment. The more the equipment makes me money, the more I love the equipment, and I love Cisco equipment. Cisco has a very proprietary way of looking at a lot of aspects of networking. They almost kind of had to have the proprietary because they've spent the last 40 some odd years inventing a lot of these things. So, and if Cisco didn't invent it, they certainly pushed it. Like, for example, I don't know if Cisco invented VPNs. I don't know if Cisco invented VLANs, but if they didn't, boy, how we deal with VLANs, how VLANs smell and work and taste, pretty much all came from Cisco. So Cisco's great. I can't recommend CCNA enough. The challenge is that Cisco really looks at stuff weird. Very Cisco kind of way of looking at things. And that's where Network Plus really helps, because Net Plus is going to be your first real exposure to real networking, and it's done in a vendor neutral way. And that's hard to beat. They just do a great job. Checking. There we go. Joe Medlin. Got an interview for Help Desk on Tuesday. That's what I like to hear, Joe. Working for a living. Cosmic AT&T, if you're talking to other people, use an @ sign so I know who you're talking to. Brennan, I'm still currently working on Security Plus, but Mike's advice created a resume, and yes, good man. Get out there and get a job. You're very welcome, Shlomo. I'm glad I was able to help. Okay, folks, so a couple of things. Number one, we have a Discord channel, and it's a good one, too. It's actually not an official channel, okay? So if you have any problems with this Discord channel, don't go talking to me, okay? That's generally a pretty good channel. In fact, it's quite good, pretty active, 24/7. However, after these shows, we tend to have a good crowd of people. A lot of people show up, turn on their camera and mic. So it's a nice way to meet people, say hello, that kind of a thing. Anyway, there's a link at 213. There's a Discord invitation. Please come join us on Discord. I think you'll like it. Also, keep in mind that we have a special. Just because you're nice enough to show up, we have combined ebook and practice questions. Remember, I always tell people, in order to pass any IT certification, you need training, either instructor-led training or videos. Number 2, you need a book, ebook, physical book, whatever. And number 3, you need practice questions. So what we're doing here is we're combining an ebook and practice questions, A+, Net+, whatever you want, okay? So A+, Net+. Yeah, so all you have to do is go to our website, www.totalsem.com, Head over to the merchant area, grab a A+ book, and then grab say an A+ practice test, a total tester, and then all you have to do is in the checkout, type in the word pi, P-I, that's it, pi. 3.1415927, whatever, okay? And you get it at 50% off. Folks, this is nuts because my prices are already about the cheapest of the good training material. And another 50% off is like ridiculous. So how's that for good? Andrew Hutz, Mike, how do I balance drinking and studying for the pen test? Very carefully. Use a long pole. Brennan, use one hand for standing. Okay, there we go. Shlomo, go for the Network Plus, Shlomo. 214. Wilson, good to see you, Wilson. It's been a while. Have I worked with Microtik products? No, I have not. But I've heard great things about those products. Wilson, this is literally the exact type of question that needs to be on the Discord channel. All right? Get your little Microtik fired up so we can look at it. And whoever is on, there's lots of great techs who can help you out. In fact, I got to be honest, I'm probably the 4th or 5th best tech on that Discord channel. We got a lot of very, very good quality techs on there. Tolowit found my 31 pounds. That is such an old joke. Tim Lynch Jr. at 214. When will I use fiber optic cables in business? Or do they make... When will I use fiber optic cables in business? Whenever you need fiber. It's a lot. Tim, I don't like the word business. What we ought to talk about is small office, home office, SOHO versus enterprise. So you can buy routers and switches and some of them are like for homes and small offices. So we call those SOHO routers or SOHO switches. Whereas in the enterprise world, we call them enterprise routers and switches. In an enterprise, they're more robust. They tend to work well with other devices better, In a SOHO environment, routers tend to be more user-friendly, forgiving, pre-made configurations to do standard stuff, that kind of a thing. So where we use fiber? I use fiber in my house. I use fiber at my work. I use fiber with my customers. Does that mean I still run copper? Of course I do, but I have lots of fiber that's out there too. Do they make fiber switches? Yes. They also make switches that are fiber and copper. You have like 2 connections for your backbone, then you have a whole bunch of gigabyte connections for individual hosts. Yes. Or do we mostly use fiber for incoming internet? I'm not sure who we is. I mostly use fiber for incoming internet. Here in my offices, believe it or not, we don't have fiber coming into the office. It's not available, so we use copper. There is no mostly. It's too big. I don't even know where you live, Tim. Maybe you live in a place that's, a lot of traditionally developing countries who never had infrastructure. They finally get infrastructure, and it's like really high-end wireless and fibers, mainly because they didn't have infrastructure before. So, Tim, I hope I answered your question. I know sometimes I can be irritating like that. Vegas Brent, should passing scores on your practice exam make one confident in passing the actual exam? Yes, because my passing scores are higher than the actual scores. Mark Larisma, no military, starting new here. Okay, a new Tesla building is here. Walked in asking to help, got rejected on the way out. The IT offered to work for his company, and that's when he recommended you to learn from. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Really, Mark? Yeah, that's kind of cool. Thanks, man. 215, Jenish Patel. Mike, how should CompTIA A+ online exam work? How does it work? Do they send results on the spot? Yes. As a matter of fact, when you take a CompTIA exam at a testing center, the results are literally as soon as you take the exam, you hit, I'm done, chunka, chunka, chunka. It makes you go through a little, what do you call it? How old are you? And yeah, you instantly get the answers. You know, pass, fail. You know right there. Okay. Brian Banks, oh, you said laptop. Most can't be upgraded because they're soldered in laptop. Okay. Jason Helms, all right. Johnny 5. I purchased your A+ book Udemy course, Core 1 and 2. Very excited. Good luck, man. You can do it. Tahir Hussein, what is the difference in the 1101 and 1102? I'm assuming that the objectives are out. What you need to do is head over to www.comptia.org and check out the objectives there. Mohammed Asarudi, A+ online. Mohammed, I'm pretty sure what he's mentioning is that you can take the A+ exam at home in many circumstances, and I think that's what he's talking about. Ping, good Lord, Ping, I haven't seen you in ages, dude. You ever think about it? How do you get a name like Ping on YouTube? And Ping, you had to be here like back in whenever it started. When did YouTube start? 2002, 2003? David Baggs, when I did the A+, the 1002 pass mark was higher than the 1001. That's a surprising thing to hear, Brian. Oh, the objectives are not yet posted for the 1100 series, so I really don't want to talk about it until people start saying some stuff. Cosmic AT&T 2006. Thanks for checking on that for me, brother. Sister, whatever. Move to Groove 1. Hey, Mike, greetings from Austria. Europe. I know where Austria is. I've been to Austria. Where were we going? I'm a big Mozart fan, so I went down to, where was Mozart born? In Austria. I forgot. Salzburg. I like the Austrians. They're just like the Germans, but they're in a good mood. I love the Numa Numa guy. Me too. Ping, I think you could get duplicate names. Really? I didn't think you could. Okay. All right, guys. So, so it's already 2:30. Let's go ahead and start giving some stuff away. Folks, what we're going to do right now is we're going to start by giving away practice questions. And so this is, you get 90-day, 3-month access to the practice questions of your choice, whoever wins this. Folks, I need to warn you right now, this is not a fair competition. I try to make it fair, but sometimes it isn't as fair as I'd like it to be. So basically, I'm going to put up a multiple choice question. And the first person who answers it correctly wins. Folks, this is a multiple choice question. Do not type A, B, C, or D. Type out enough of the answer so I know what you're talking about, all right? That's kind of the secret. So folks, and all you do is you type your answer into the chat window, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. You guys ready for the first question today? Remember, in this particular one, the only thing we're doing is giving away practice questions. It doesn't matter. You can pick whatever practice questions you want, all right? And folks, this works internationally. It's an online tool, so no matter where you are, it works. Everybody ready? Here we go. Hold on. Dave Rush is talking to me in the background. No, we're okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Everybody ready? Here we go. Boink. All right. In laser printer technology, what occurs during the writing stage of the image formation? That sounds funny, the image formation. And yes, man, CompTIA loves laser printer questions. So you have 4 choices. Do not type in A, B, C, or D. Type in, enough so I understand where you're coming from. So I'll let you guys, I'm going to just sit here for a minute, give everybody some opportunity to put in the answers they want. Andrew Hutt's Kick the Printer is hilarious guy, just funny, full of funniness. Jenish Patel, Mike, if I buy your voucher today, when you think I'll receive it because I'm planning to take CompTIA exams sooner. It's 1 to 2 weeks for us to get that to you. Plagiarism? What does that mean? Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and take a look at this together. I don't know the answer. A uniform, no. Alternate charge, no. Print image transfer to paper, no. Print transfer has got to be D. The print, because you are the writing stage, and that's where the print image is written to the drum. Let me see if I'm right. Check your answer. D is correct. Oh, for the record, folks, this is the total tester product right here. So you actually kind of get an idea how it all works. So the answer is D. The print image is written to the drum. All right. Let's find ourselves a winner. Print image, okay. Dave Rush, Andrew Hutz, help me. So many. DHCP. Andre, you're hilarious. Tolowit, SA. You guys are just terrible. All right, I'm looking for a winner, so bear with me. Okay. Yep. Andrew Hutz, I agree with you. All right, here we go. So the winner is going to be Jared. Where'd it go? Jared Graham. Jared Graham, you have won 90-day access to the CompTIA questions of your choice. Jared, in order to claim your prize, you got to jump through a couple of hoops. Oops, not that button. Let's try that again. There we go. All right. So, Jared, in order to claim your prize, you need to send an email to daver@total7.com, just like it sees on the screen there. Jared, be sure to put your YouTube name in the body of the email. Number 2, put your email address in the body of the email. And then number 3, tell us which practice exam you want. Don't panic, Jared. All these instructions are already in the chat window. You can find those as well. But remember, in order to get your prize, you have to send us an email. Okay, great. Thank you. Congratulations to you, Jared. Well done. All right, have any more questions appeared since we did? Plagiarism. Jared Graham, I have no idea actually. Well, Jared, you are walking proof of why multiple choice exams are usually a pretty bad way to test people, because you guessed and you were right. Congratulations, well done. All right, so I'm looking for some more questions. Oh God, Tolowit, plagiarism happens during the writing stage. You guys got to remember, I write for a living, and I'm so paranoid because I read a lot, as you can imagine. I read a phenomenal amount of stuff every week, and I'm always terrified that I'm writing something, and in the back of my soul, I heard it from somebody else. I'm always terrified. I've never done that in 26 years, but I'm always paranoid it might happen. I'm sorry, I'm having fun laughing at your guys' smart alecky commentary. Yes, and we're still going to give away a free CompTIA voucher here. Move to Groove. And the winner gets a free coupon to buy a laser toner. I thought they get to buy a spare battery. I got it, Tolowit. I got your lame joke. And you're right, it's terribly lame. Kanakawa, one thing the American school system, I like the way you do that in caps, taught us was how to take multiple choice questions. Hey, it doesn't hurt. Move to Groove 1 at 2:35. Mike, do you have any experience or feedback from students that only learning from the CompTIA test from Udemy is enough? Well, yeah, I do. And my answer is in order to pass any exam, you need some kind of training, which is either going to be instructor-led or video. That's Udemy. But I didn't stop there, did I? You need two two more things. The second thing you need is some kind of book. And the third thing you need are practice questions. You need three things. Can you do it without it? Maybe. Maybe you can just walk in and, like Jared showed you, got 1 in 25 chance on every question. I always love it when I tell people, here are the three things you need. And like the next thing, so many people go, well, do I really need them? Yes, I just said you need a book and a video and practice questions. And what do you just say? Well, do I really need them? Look, guys, I'm not sitting here trying to spend your money. I got better things to do. In fact, I'm giving stuff away left and right here. But it just cracks me up. Nobody did that here today, but I get it a lot. All right. So, but Dave Rush is talking to me again. Also, guys, a little bit of a reminder from our buddy Dave Rush. CompTIA is very generous to help let us give away vouchers to you guys. However, we're trying to get everybody. We want to know how many people have waited 6 weeks, and that is unfortunate, but that is some of the wait time. That's very important. If you need to take an exam quickly, counting on CompTIA vouchers to be in a timely basis is just not realistic right now. The corona has messed everything up, and they're working their rear ends off, but I do need to warn you that it can be slow. All right? If it's been 6 weeks or more and you have not yet contacted Dave Rush, please do so, daver@totalsem.com. Oh, and the other thing is, don't pretend like you won a voucher when you didn't. We keep track of everything. It's so embarrassing. Whoosh. This is a question. I literally was about to pass this question up, and I suddenly realized that this is actually a pretty good question. Yes, folks, questions are slowing down a little bit. Hey, Christina, good to see you, man. We are about to have our next competition, which is for a CompTIA voucher. And I've got a question already queued up, so it should be good. All right. All right, kids, let's see. Ronan reads, any tips for Project Plus? I'm sorry, we don't do Project Plus, Ronan. I apologize, buddy. Ulysses Ferrer. Hey, Mike, can you explain the concept of DMZ and what it's used for? DMZ stands for Demilitarized Zone, and it's basically a traditional DMZ consisted of 2 routers. So you had the big scary internet, then you had a gateway router there. This router would filter a lot of stuff. It had some amount of firewalling, but it would let a lot of stuff pass because behind that first router would be your public servers. Yeah, guys, look, I know everything's on the cloud today, okay? God bless you. But the reality is that a lot of the concepts that we use and build predate the cloud. And they're back in the old days, if you wanted to set up a web server, you fired up a computer, okay? So you'd have your DMZ, and then behind that, on public IP addresses, are your web servers, whatever your publicly facing servers are. And then there's another router, a second router. A real DMZ has 2 routers. A real DMZ has 2 routers. Hey kids, how many routers do you have to be in a real DMZ? 2, because behind that second router is all of you got NAT back there and all of your accounting systems and your printers and all that stuff that is not publicly facing. That is a classic DMZ. Over the years, on a lot of SOHO routers, you almost never would see this on an enterprise router, but on a SOHO router, they would have something called DMZ. There's just the home router, and you probably have this on your home router at your house. And in there, under DMZ, it basically means anything that's coming in from the internet that is an initial conversation, send it all to a particular machine. If you do that and tell me about it, I'll go ahead and hack your network for you to show you how stupid of an idea it is to use those DMZs on a Soho network. It's a recipe for disaster. So that's what DMZ means. Oh, Dave Rush reminded me that way back a year and a half ago, we did a nice episode. So if you search here in the Total Seminars channel, look for port forwarding, port triggering, and DMZ. Brennan, delete that quick. I don't know, what are we deleting? Siegfried Vandery, what is your opinion on VPN routers? Well, I think it's important to have, if you're going to have a VPN, you have to have an endpoint, and usually having a router as a VPN endpoint is a very good way to do that. So I feel very good about it. Marsh Monster, hello from Seattle. Marsh Monster, you're from Seattle? Do you know where Puyallup is? I used to hang out in Puyallup a lot. I used to just drive up to Bellingham too. Best beer and best oysters in the United States of America, Seattle, Washington. How do I get to know all this stuff? How do I get to know all this technology stuff? Because I love it. This is my idea of a red hot Saturday night here, folks, is playing with technology. Man, what am I, here. So this is on my list. This is an X50 motherboard I got. This is a beautiful motherboard. I'm very excited to get to use this. I'm very big into AMDs right now. So, I mean, you're asking me how I know stuff because I never stop learning about it, like ever. It's fun. What would I do instead of this? You know? Play pianos? I don't know. All right. My parents live in Spanaway. Cool. All right. Yeah, if you ever have time, I got a lot of Seattle stories. People from Seattle, like, for example, people in Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, they all say thank you a lot. I mean, I live in the South. We're used to being courteous, but in the Northwest, they take it to a whole new level. But unfortunately, the word thank you has like seven different meanings depending on context. Learn what you love and love what you learn. I'm with you there, Christina. Peter Hunt. Peter Hunt, where have you been? 243. Looking to get a PC or server to run labs, GNS Eve. Oh, sure, okay. What do you recommend? Why? How many CPU cores? Man. Peter Hunt, go on the Discord channel and ask that same question, okay? Because it's a question that takes a little bit of an answer to. Brennan, looking to upgrade my 1050 Ti. Dude, I'm still running maybe not a 1050, I got a 1060 in one of my systems. I gotta be honest with you, for gaming, I don't push them that hard. Tim Lynch Jr., 243. Is there any new technology trends that you're excited to learn about? No. Yeah, I can't really think of anything. It's like blowing my socks off right now. There's no new breakthrough technology or anything like that that I'm aware of. So that's why you're working in a knock Friday through Monday. Look at you, man. Well done, Peter. Well, Peter, that's a good reason not to be on. If you're working, that's great. That's what this is all about. Okay. All right, guys. So it looks like the questions have quieted down. Let us go ahead and do our last competition for the day. Folks, this is for a CompTIA voucher, okay? And this voucher can be worth up to $400 depending on what exam you're using. This works for virtually every CompTIA exam there is, number one. It is international. It doesn't matter what country you're in, it works. If you live in a country where the exam is administered, you can be in this competition. The other thing I want to remind you is that if you have already won a voucher from us, I'm probably going to try to let somebody new win. So if you're a total newbie, this is a great opportunity. So I'm not going to say no if somebody who's already won a voucher wins. I'm not going to just like totally grab, but I'm going to look towards the newbies first. So don't get mad at me. Look, guys, I'm just trying to get you to come in and listen and take past exams. You know, I swear sometimes people in these competitions are like, you took away. I was first. I'm like, dude, I'm giving away free stuff. Brendan, 2080s, there's nothing wrong with those. Jenish Patel, Mike, how should I apply without experience? You apply aggressively and well and look for entry-level jobs. If you don't have 200 resumes in, you're making a mistake. Brian Beggs, can you use them for online? I'm pretty sure you can. Why not? How much of a time windows do you have to take 1002 after the first test? I think you have all the time you want. I don't think there's a limit. Dave Rush, do you know, is there a limit? I don't think so. All right, let's go ahead. You guys ready for the last competition of the day? Here we go. This is for a CompTIA voucher. This is going to be a multiple choice question. Do not type A, B, C, or D. I'll just ignore your answer. Type the words out so I understand where you're coming from. Is everybody ready? Here we go, kids. Here we go. For $1 million and a new car. Boom. All right. What type of computer is most likely to use ECC RAM? Tablet, desktop, server, or laptop? Which one of these is more likely Thank you, Dave. All right, guys, let's see some answers show up. This is for the voucher. There you go, Peter Hunt. Peter Hunt, no experience, got a great job. Caden Coolidge, Mike, I have an i5 and a 60 Super. Tell me I don't need it. Okay, you don't need a new gaming rig and you need a new car. You got it, man. All right, so let's see who the winner is. All right, we got, I'm looking at this. Let me look at this. I'm pretty sure it's server. Let me double check. Your answer is C is correct. All right. So the answer is C, server. So the thing is, error correction code RAM, or ECC RAM, took over from parity 30 years ago. And the nice thing about ECC is that it can find up to 2 errors in RAM. ECC has got a lot of latency to it. It's very expensive, but you see it in servers. That's the only place you're ever going to see ECC RAM, unless you want to start talking about weird stuff like oil logging trucks and things like that. So, all right, so now we got to find a winner. And let's see. Help me find a winner. Mark, this is so interesting because guys, bear with me a minute. I'm actually asking the other guys to help me. This is really weird. Okay, I'm going to go with, it looks like Caden Coolidge. So I'm going to go with Caden Coolidge. Caden Coolidge, congratulations to you. You have won a free CompTIA voucher. So Caden, I need you to do me a favor here, mon frere. In order to claim your voucher, I need you to send an email to davere@totalsem.com. In this email, put your YouTube name, just like it shows in chat. Put your email address in the body of the email. Put your name used on previous CompTIA certifications. If you haven't taken a CompTIA certification, then just put your legal name. Next, put your country of residence. If you're in America, if you're in the USA, add your state. Next, the country where you will take the exam. Some people live in one country and take exams in another. I do not know that experience, but I believe you. And then the exact exam number. Like, so if you want to take the A+, write out the entire number. Don't just type in A+. So, congratulations to you, Caden Coolidge. Well done. You got it, man. I'm just looking to see what else. So everybody's like, blah, 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 blah. All right. So, Caden, congrats. Look, folks, if you didn't win, just keep coming back. We don't have that big of a crowd here. All right? We usually have well under 100 people. And out of that 100 people, like a third of them have already won vouchers. So it's a pretty small group. So I'm sorry if you didn't win today. Come back. And speaking of coming back, my buddy Dave Rush on Fridays right here at the Total Seminars channel, right here at the same time, 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time here in Houston, Texas. Dave has his Dave Rush AMA, D-R-A-M-A, drama, which is, if you knew Dave, that's a good name for it. Dave specializes in Raspberry Pis. Now you might be saying to yourself, Mike, I don't want to know about a Raspberry Pi. Well, you do. Because a Raspberry Pi is a very cheap replacement for a full-blown computer. And if you're studying A+, Net+, Security+, and you want cheap equipment to help learn, Dave specializes in how do I use Raspberry Pis to learn about A+, or Net+, Security+. Obviously, Raspberry Pis can't do everything, but man, can they do a lot and save you a ton of money and risking other people's hardware. So you definitely want to check out Dave Rush's AMA right here at the Total Seminars. And by the way, Dave also gives away vouchers. Ha! Yeah, everyone's like, oh, no. So we get in there. Okay, I think we're all done. Let me take one more quick look for questions. BD Vasquez, has he done the giveaway yet? Dude, it's almost 3 o'clock. What do you think? Yeah, I've done it. All right, guys, I am out of here. Listen, thank you so much for attending. We will see you guys all again soon. Don't forget about the Discord channel. Don't forget about the amazing 50% discount. It's just posted right there in the chat window. Please take advantage of that. And this is your Uncle Mike saying bye-bye. And I will see you guys next Monday. Bye, kids.